Hello everyone. Today we are going to be focusing on one of the most prominent organizations, one of the most prominent industries in the country. Perhaps, and I may take the liberty of saying so, the reason why India is called the pharmacy of the world is because of such organizations, and the most prominent and one of the crown jewels of this country is Morepen Laboratories. Today with me is Mr. Sushil Suri, who is the chairman and managing director. We have come to realize post-pandemic that the focus of the entire world is now on our country. There is obvious interest in manufacturing organizations, in retail organizations operating out of India. One of the most prominent organizations of this country in the pharmacy space is Morepen Laboratories, be it the API space, be it the direct-to-consumer segment. I think we take out our phones, go to one of the e-commerce websites. If we search for any product, chances are that it'll be manufactured by Morepen or your consumer. Right? Your organization is also one which was featured in the Limca Book of World Records, right? If I remember correctly, back 20 years back, right?
True.
To me, as an outsider, as someone who's grown with these products all around me, Bernal being one of the most famous one. I think social media is full of Bernal references.
True.
What is your key achievement that you would like to tell us? How do you observe the success of this organization?
Good, thank you. I think you have already set the stage that India is the pharmacy of the world.
Yes.
I would say it's not only the pharmacy of the world. Today, India is in limelight globally in almost every sector.
Yes.
With the vision of the Honorable Prime Minister taking us to the top 3 tiers, say third economy in the world, I think there's a lot to do. And industry can't sit silent. We have to work around. And fortunately for the pharma industry, between pharma also have more API and medical devices. Both are these industries which have become the focus.
Yes.
Till date, India was being recognized as a consumption economy. We were never into the main tier. Globally, people have moved from, say, agriculture to manufacturing, to services, to R&D, technology, tech, wherever. So we were being taken as a dump yard. Companies are coming and throwing their stuff here. Maybe the B category products. But now people have realized, we are also in the race. I think that's a good starting point. And it was very important for pharma particularly because we were being taken as a generic country. Cheap products. Cheap, not affordable. They used to call cheap.
Cheap products.
Cheap means substandard. That's how word denominates. But now we are, in last 10 years, the last 15 years, 45% of the pharma shares in US in the generic market is India.
Right.
And I would still say, quote, it's generic market. Now is the time that we switch gear. Instead of being a generic country, we want to become R&D country. We still do not have R&D. I think that's the interesting phase we are riding now. We need to have a backward integration on the R&D. Yesterday we were having a meeting with the biotechnology department, Government of India. And this is the main issue that, we need to change our label from being generic to the innovation. I think that's one big thing what is happening. And as Morepen, we have evolved that we started with plain antibiotics. By the way, name Morepen comes from a penicillin product, ampicillin. It was Dr. Morepen who first synthesized the semi-synthetic penicillins and made a usable drug, ampicillin. That's how the name comes. So we started from antibiotics. Now we have a range of almost 45 new molecules spreading all the diseases of the lifestyles. Particularly, we are more important and popular in the lifestyle diseases like diabetic, cardiac, neuro, maybe all the chronic diseases. So we do not do those typical antibiotics. During COVID time, government was much worried about supplies from China and many things. But we were not covered in that bracket. We were not doing those small $10, $5 items, and we were more into the high value drugs. I think that's one important change which has happened, that we have evolved from antibiotics to the new molecules. Second is we started from, I would say, sales in India, then selling to our neighboring countries, maybe Bangladesh, Vietnam, Cambodia, because that's what the whole antibiotic market is. Now we are exporting to over 85 countries.
Wow.
And we have drug master files all over the world. Primarily, people count US as a benchmark. We have 35 odd DMFs in US, more than 200 drug master files all over the world. We are filing patents left, right, and center, be it US patents or Indian patents, and complying the regulatory requirements of almost all countries. Again, taking US as a benchmark, we have moved from a so-called a semi-regulated to the FDA approved. And when I say FDA approved, we proudly say that we have a hat trick of nil 483. I don't know if you understand. 483 is an observation form which auditors give. Nil 483 means there's no major observation.
Nil for it.
Nil.
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 Okay.
So it means that, okay, you guys are doing well, go ahead, that's it. And maybe there is a small some observation, maybe your, say, toilets are not clean, just as an example, that's it. So there was no technical observation, no observation for 3 times consecutively. And while on the same side, I mean, our other counterparts in India have been getting FDA warnings, FDA alerts, and in last 40 years, we had no product recall, no rejection, no customer complaints. I mean, major customer complaint that you have to recall. Product recall is considered big. Import alert is big. Almost all our Indian friends have gone through the drill.
We have been seeing that in the news. Most of the prominent drug manufacturers have
They have gone through. And I'm not saying that we are something big, but I'm saying we are fortunate so far that because
I
we
think
are
that's a matter of big pride for us as a country.
As a country. That's what is changing now, because that's what was being treated. That's what, even for example, the China. The moment you say China, you say, oh my, second class.
Yes.
So that's how India was being treated. That these guys don't know. But now I think it is changing. So that's a big thing which is we achieving. And I would say for a medium-sized company like Morepen having a hat trick of nil 483, that speaks volumes about it. And then the second thing is the regulatory setup. Filing of DMFs, filing of these dossiers. So we are doing, I would say, like the back of our hand every day, every month we are doing something. And our corporate communication department is busy updating it on the LinkedIn every day because so much is happening.
Yeah.
So, but that's, I think, an interesting, and we are talking as a mid-sized company. But if you talk as an India story, we are on the top of the deck from the global level. And it's not only on the pharmacy side, but I would say be it tech, be it aerospace, be it defense, be it EV, we are marching everywhere, and it is giving a big impetus to economy overall.
Yes.
And I think yesterday I was reading somewhere, I don't know what's the statistics, that if we keep growing at the same numbers, I think it was an official statement only, that by 2047, so we will be at par with US. We'll be a 30 trillion economy. Because we are growing at 5, 6, 7, 8%. People are growing in decimals. So if we keep growing, I think we have a lot to do and lots of opportunity. And fortunately, we are in good hand, good sector, I would say. Healthcare for all. And I usually say, I mean, so long as human being is alive, health, he has to be healthy. If he has to be healthy, we have enough business.
And that's why such organizations as yourself are very important and needed.
Thank you.
Now, good that you mentioned about the growth story of the country, and I could draw parallels between the growth story of the country as well as the growth story of Morepen Laboratories. Would you be able to shed some light on some of the strategic decisions or some of the strategic plans that you have to ride this growth wave? And you said by 2047 we'll be equivalent to the US. Which is a big and bold statement, right?
That's true.
So, what are these bold strategies that
I would say I like to split it in 2 parts. One is what we have done different to come here or to reach here, and how we differentiate our organization.
The bold
and
steps.
Second is going forward. The first bold step, like say that at one time when we were back in year 98, 99, we were just 100 crore company. We closed antibiotic division as is various basis, and we said, oh, we want to go to new molecules. There was a lot of hue and cry from the bankers and so-called investment banker. How can you do that? It can run parallel. Said we were knowing we are just, I would say, running the mills, or we are, I would say, just cracking the machines. That's it. We are not earning enough. We need to close it. We took a bold stand. We need to go to new molecules. We brought some product first time in the world, and in today. That's what I was telling you, that we got 70-75% market share of that product, loratadine, because we took our decision back in year 98, and we started manufacturing. Then this was all on the API front. Now we have got a basket of around 40 products. Then second came finished dosage. Of course, everybody in the country is sitting in the doctor's chamber asking for prescriptions. We as a company decided that, okay, outside the doctor chamber also, only 1% people or 2% people go to the doctor. 99% healthcare is outside.
Yes.
So we decided to go bold and go back to the consumer. Today we have a new word, DTC. Oh my God, this was not there. So we created a brand for ourselves, Dr. Morepen. So we came out of the closet.
DTC is doctor to
No, now it's direct to consumer. But we created Dr. Morepen back 20 years ago when people are not knowing what is this DTC.
Okay.
Everybody was queuing in front of the doctors.
Yes.
And doctor give you hardly 30 seconds.
Yes.
So lucky you got 2 minutes.
Yes.
2 minutes plus a smile. Let's say if you can smile in the back, it's good. It means he has recognized you.
Yes.
So otherwise you go explain your product and get out. That's it.
Yes.
Go to some doctor's place by 1:30, 2 o'clock and you'll see 20 friends like ours sitting there.
Yes.
So we could see that there is some sort of a monopoly which is going around, and naturally the large pharma, large corps, and the big pharma will have a bigger cloud. We said, okay, we will be the first company to go. And of course, everybody is asking, whom do you follow? What is your example? What's your inspiration? Said people will follow us. We create a brand,
So
come out
skip
of the
the
closet,
queue.
yes, go to the consumer. Now, today, Dr. Morepen has a 600-700 crore brand, including medical devices, and now we are a household brand. That's what was the vision. And I'm giving a bold statement. There's no other company who has created a brand like Dr. Morepen.
I have to agree with that because everywhere you see you have and Bernal being one of the most prominent examples.
Yeah,
but
that
not
was an
just that.
acquired brand. That was still an acquired brand. But Dr. Morepen is our homegrown brand.
Yes.
What pharma company was doing? For example, you might have heard a brand called Bralgan. So that is the doctor's created brand. If you have heard a brand, say maybe Crocin, everybody has heard. These are all created in the doctor's chamber or maybe heavy advertising.
The product recall is such that, at various juncture of one's life,
Yep.
they encounter that. You want to weigh your weight, there is a weighing scale that reads Dr. Morepen. You have a cough, you order something
Everything.
that has Dr. Morepen
True,
on the syrup. You have a burn or something, you have a cut, you have the dusting powder that has
That is
Dr.
right,
Morepen
that
on
is
it.
right.
Measure your fever and so
Look, we had
That's a-
basically conducted a survey that there is typically a 7-day window between the problem and the solution.
okay.
And 90% of the time, people do not go to the doctor in first 3 days. So at these first 3 days,
We
that's
let it
like a
marinate.
home remedy. That's where you need a doctor. That's where I said, okay, we'll give you a doctor at home. So Dr. Morepen is your doctor at your home.
Okay.
It is outside the doctor's chamber. Now that's how it was designed. It's more dynamic, it's colorful, it's vibrant, it's not that hospital white coat. I mean, when we did the brand building and brand architecture, we were given with all the options. But thankfully, we had a very good brand architecture firm in Bombay, DMA, Sanjeev Malhotra. He was very clear and that, okay, this is Doctor, this is Coke, this is Pepsi, this is Pizza. And at that time, by the way, Pizza Hut was launched in India. We were among the top 3 brands in the country. Pizza Hut, Palio Alto was a car, Palio was a car of Fiat, and Dr. Morepen was the third one.
Okay.
He was saying, come put it next to each other. Where are you now? You want to be close to, say, Apollo Hospital, or you want to close to Manipal Hospital, or you want to be closer to Coke? Of course, the choice was you want Coke.
To become more favorite.
Yeah, you want to consumer brand.
Yeah.
This is the face of the consumer. So I think these are one of the bold steps. And third one, if we see lately, is medical devices. We are the only company in the country, again a bold statement, we are manufacturing in India.
Right.
And when we started, there was no manufacturer in India.
Oh, really?
And for God's sake, our regulators even do not know how to give it a license because they just try to
There's
copy.
no parameter to
Yeah, there's
measure.
no parameter. Now medical devices rules have come. Now there's the manufacturing guidelines coming, and now we are talking of the manufacturing hub. We want to be number 1 in the world and blah blah. But we started it. I think these are the couple of bold steps which we have taken. And going forward, certainly biotechnology is one segment. That's what I was telling you in one of the conferences yesterday. We were discussing, okay, we want to be first time in the world, what to do? So how can we do that? And similarly, if we want to do something on, say, medical devices, now what's the next? We are the leaders in glucometers and BP monitors. And by the way, we are the number one in both the sectors. Again, home manufacturing. So nobody in the country has gone into that. And I would say it's all breaking the stereotypes. Most of the companies, they want to do replication of the existing things. Buy a high-speed machine, do whatever, appoint 5,000 people, 10,000 people, and keep doing the same thing again. So we try to take some bold steps.
That's very reassuring, and also, again, I may be sounding like a broken record, but it's a matter of pride that an Indian manufacturer is taking it to the next level. And also, Mr. Suri, I deeply admire your sense of care for the consumer, right? So you have not just devices which can detect what is your problem, but you also have the cure. And at the same time, that brings me to my next question, which is, and as you said, you want to cover the consumer, the general Indian citizen from end to end. And I am aware that you are now moving into the diagnostic space as well. It's a highly competitive segment, right? You have local players as well as the big boys of the industry. So what is the plan here that you have to really help and assist the citizens of the country?
Look, Shamit, the way I look at it is that we are primarily focusing, we are a very focused company. We are focusing on the lifestyle diseases. So when I say lifestyle diseases, so sugar, I mean this diabetic, cardiac, weight management, these are the basic keys which is lifestyle. And of course, I'm not saying malaria is not lifestyle, I'm not saying dengue is not lifestyle, but those are disease profile. As Dr. Morepen, we are more with you. You have hospitals, you can always go there. But I'm with you on a day-to-day basis. I think as we evolve, so for example, sugar management is one of the key things. So we are there. Blood pressure management, we are there. The next thing coming up is CGM, continuous glucose monitoring. So these glucometers will be obsolete in next 10 years. So maybe you'll have a patch. There are already one company is already there, but there's no manufacturing in India. So that's one thing which is going. Second thing, when we look at the lifestyle of the people in our API division also, we are focusing more on this diabetology and more on the cardiac side, so that we provide more lifestyle solution. Third thing which is important for all of us to know, biotechnology is sweeping the cheese. 70% of the global market by value is already stolen by biotech products. So this is the next big thing which is going to come to India. And lots of companies are working on that. And there's no big success as on today, the Indian biotech companies, except one or two joint ventures. But I think that's one big thing which we see forward.
Mr. Suri, it has been a really eye-opening as well as enriching experience for me to be talking to you.
Pleasure.
To know that the country is in safe hands, to know that it's along with India's growth, we are also looking at the growth of the industries which are riding on that wave. We are going to be competing shoulder to shoulder with the big boys of the world, and it's a matter of great pride that it's all happening right in front of our eyes. Thank you so much for filling us up with all of that information. We wish you all the luck, and we really want to see this company growing and succeeding at the pace that it deserves. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Pleasure.